Things aren't looking good in the EV industry at all. From Tesla to General Motors to even China's failing market, thousands of employees are losing their jobs. The EV market layoffs are here. But what's causing this upheaval in the industry? And why are these companies, once called the future of transportation, suddenly facing such tough times? Let's break it down. So, have you heard about Tesla's latest move? Tesla is cutting 10% of its global workforce, which means about 14,000 jobs will be lost. Why? The market slowdown, intense competition, and the need to cut costs are the main reasons. The global economic downturn has reduced demand for expensive items like electric cars, hitting Tesla's sales. At the same time, other car makers are ramping up their EV offerings, putting pressure on Tesla. What does this mean for Tesla's future? To stay profitable, Tesla is making its operations leaner. This should help cut costs and improve efficiency, but it could hurt employee morale and the company's image. This move shows the tough and competitive nature of the EV market. Tesla expanded rapidly over the past decade, growing to 140,000 employees. But now, for the first time in years, Tesla is losing money on its EVs. This has led to drastic cost-cutting measures. Over 6,000 layoffs are planned in the US alone, with 3,332 in Texas, 2,688 in California, 700 in Nevada, and 285 in Buffalo. Most of the international layoffs will be in China. What's next for Tesla? Their success will depend on balancing cost-cutting with continued investment in new technology and staying ahead in the market. This situation shows just how volatile the EV market can be and what companies need to do to stay competitive. It's not just big companies though. Even well-funded startups are struggling. Have you heard about Rivian's latest challenges? This promising EV is hitting some rough patches, leading to 2 rounds of layoffs affecting 11% of its workforce. What's going wrong? Even with the initial buzz and big financial backing, Rivian's sales have been disappointing. The company aimed to produce innovative electric trucks and SUVs, but production delays, supply chain issues, and tough competition from established automakers have slowed them down. How is Rivian responding? To cope, Rivian's leadership is cutting costs and focusing on core priorities. They're building parts in-house, renegotiating supplier contracts, and upgrading production lines. In February, they cut 10% of their workforce, and now they're cutting another 1%, mainly in business support roles. This is all part of their plan to become profitable by the end of the year. What's next? Despite setbacks, Rivian is still investing in its production and expanding its product lineup. They've introduced a new, smaller, and more affordable model, the R2 SUV. Originally planned for a new plant, the R2 will now be made in an existing facility to save over $2 billion, with deliveries expected in early 2026. Can Rivian bounce back? Have you heard the latest about Fisker Inc? This EV startup, known for its sleek designs and ambitious plans, is facing a tough future. Despite launching a new SUV model called the Ocean, Fisker is struggling with financial challenges and layoffs, raising doubts about its long-term survival. We've covered the situation with this company in more detail in another video that you should definitely check out. What's going wrong? The recent layoffs aim to cut costs, but highlighting deeper issues in the company's operations and finances. What's Fisker's plan now? Fisker plans more job cuts to save money and is exploring options to meet cash needs, including talks with buyers and investors. But experts warn these efforts might not be enough to save the company. It's not just Fisker though. GM is laying off 24% of its workforce at the Lake Orion plant. This decision comes after discontinuing the Chevy Bolt EV and EUV vehicles, and seeing underwhelming performance from its newer EVs on the Ultium platform. Why the struggle? Despite heavy investment, GM's new EV models haven't met expectations. Slow consumer adoption and intense competition have forced GM to reassess its strategy and cut costs. The Lake Orion plant, which had 1,261 workers, will see a 24% staff reduction. The plant is being retooled to produce electric pickups like the Silverado EV and Sierra EV. Most affected employees have been offered new roles at other GM facilities. What does this mean for their future? Well, GM's success in the EV market will depend on innovation, consumer response, and cost management. Delays in producing electric pickups and new drive units highlights the challenges legacy automakers face in the EV transition. But what about Ford? They were the first major company to launch an all-electric pickup and initially saw impressive demand for the F-150 Lightning. But why has interest waned so quickly? The electric version hasn't matched the capability of its traditional internal combustion engine counterpart, leading to a huge drop in sales. What has Ford done in response to these challenges? They had to offer massive discounts, ranging from $7,000 to $15,000 per vehicle. But even with these price cuts, they were losing money. Last year, Ford lost over $336,000 on every electric F-150 it sold, with total losses in the EV sector exceeding $5 billion. Because of these financial struggles, Ford drastically reduced production plans, cutting output by 2/3. How has this decision affected the workforce? At the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, only 700 out of 2,100 workers will remain. Another 700 employees will be transferred to the Wayne plant to build Bronco and Ranger models, while the remaining 700 must choose between a $50,000 retirement package or reassignment within Southeast Michigan. These cuts and transfers are part of Ford's broader strategy to manage costs and adapt to current market conditions. What are the broader implications for Ford? The company has faced supply chain disruptions, increased competition, and shifting consumer preferences, all contributing to its financial challenges. Ford's leadership has emphasized the need to prioritize profitable segments and optimize production efficiency. Even with these setbacks, Ford remains committed to its long-term electrification goals, investing in new technologies and expanding its EV portfolio. Can Ford overcome these obstacles? The company's ability to navigate these financial and operational challenges will be crucial in maintaining its position in the competitive EV market. Ford's future success will depend on how well it can balance cost management with continued innovation. These market problems aren't just hitting American companies. The EV market issue is global. Did you know that China is often considered the leading EV market in the world? However, it's not all smooth sailing. Growth has slowed, competition is fiercer than ever, and a price war is making it tough for companies to stay afloat. NIO is one of the companies feeling the heat. Their stock is down a staggering 90% from its all-time high in 2021. So what's going wrong for NIO? Despite decent sales numbers and some growth, NIO still isn't turning a profit. To manage costs, they cut 10% of their workforce back in November. Now, there are rumors of another round of layoffs. Have these rumors been confirmed? Not officially, but various sources on social media suggest otherwise. Even NIO's CEO, William Li, has talked about eliminating duplicate and inefficient roles, indicating that changes are likely coming. What does this mean for NIO employees and the industry at large? We don't yet know how many workers will be affected or when these layoffs might happen. But it's clear that companies like NIO are struggling more than ever. The Chinese automotive industry landscape is on the brink of a significant transformation. How will NIO navigate these challenging times? Their ability to manage costs and streamline operations will be critical. The company's future success will depend on its ability to adapt to these competitive pressures and economic challenges. Keep an eye on NIO and the broader Chinese EV market to see how this evolving situation unfolds. The coming months will be crucial in determining whether NIO can turn things around and maintain its place in the highly competitive EV industry. But if you want to know more about the conditions of the EV market right now and why it's facing such a difficult time, make sure to click on this next video where we've covered the subject in more detail.